Darren visits the Eugene Maker Hackerspace and the Portland Brain Silo. This segment of Hack 5 is brought to you by Domain.com.
For Hacker Across America, Darren Kitchen here on May 24th at the Eugene Hackerspace. Let's check it out.
Alright, so this is our main entryway, our kind of small office. We have our sort of our 3D printer station. So you got the Thing-O-Matic right here, which is printing. What are you printing?
Keychain.
Printing a keychain.
Keychain that has a pocket inside for RFID tag.
Is that what that is?
That's this is a test bed of it. Yeah, and basically you have a RFID tag in the keychain, so you rub it on the phone and launch an application. This one just goes into the GPS application.
Okay, that's awesome. So this is kind of where most of our members do their 3D printing, prototyping, stuff like that. This is our electronics bench here. We got a whole bunch of different basic components, resistors, capacitors, got our oscilloscope, soldering station, all that stuff. And then here's kind of the main shop. Well, we'll start over here, I guess. Normally this bay is open. This was our a project for a contest we did. It's a target shooting range where you shoot the targets, they flip around, it rings the bells, and that was pretty fun.
Step right up. The game is free, so I need to move a lot of volume if I'm ever going to turn a profit.
This is our member storage wall. So everything, we try to give all our members storage space so that they can keep some of their projects here. We're getting so many members now, the wall's incredibly full, but everyone gets a bin. That's all what that is. All these parts, a lot of this stuff came from an electronics company, a local electronics company that went out of business. That's actually where we got the shelves. So these are all like spare parts left over from projects, stuff like that, that people just throw on the wall so all our members can just benefit from all the leftover scraps. Let's see. This is actually a project I'm working on with a couple people. There's going to be a vacuum forming table. So you can put an object on here, a sheet of plastic, you lift it up, it heats up, and then you suck it, it'll stretch over an object, turn on a vacuum, and sucks it right down. That's going to be pretty cool once that's done. This is a mill/lathe that I've never used. Someone brought it in recently. It's one of our newest tools that somebody's lending to us, so people can do some machining.
What's this up here?
Oh, that is an air rocket launcher that Kevin built. So it's actually on a swivel arm, so you can kind of change the angle. It's got a double barrel we can attach to it, but you make these rockets out of a paper template that we actually found from Make Magazine. And we'll bring it to like Maker Faire and stuff. We have a lot of kids. They'll make these rockets out of paper in like 10-15 minutes, and then they launch like 100-200 feet in the air, and it's all air powered. So that's pretty cool.
Wow, a little bit more sophisticated than a potato cannon.
Yeah, although that's what that is. That one right above it is the air powered potato cannon. Got the community fridge. This is kind of our wood area. Most of this stuff is got to go to recycling because it's kind of some of this just got to get stacked back up over there. But that's why it's kind of messy right now because we've just got so much scrap stuff to get rid of. But it's kind of where we have our woodworking tools, most of our power tools that we want out most of the time. We got more basic power tool stuff like that. Our workbench. This was probably the first piece of furniture we had in here. A couple of us built this one night. So that was cool. A really sturdy table. This is where I set up this welding booth so that I could build that vacuum forming table. So these curtains can come out, so you can kind of isolate yourself, protect everyone else's eyes, and then you can, it's like our chop saw, you can cut it, and then you can do your welding or whatever you gotta do here for all your metalworking. That's why you have all the welding supplies here. And then this collapses back so we can save the space because we're kind of cramped in here. Let's see. Yeah, we have our stereo. Nothing really that interesting over here. We do have a server rack in case anyone does want to do some kind of computer-related hacking. Right now, no one's been using it. We were going to host our website here, but the server was just too loud. And then up top, we call it the Pick Apart, and that's basically, it's like most of what's up there is old electronics, like printers and routers, things like that, that our members had in their garage because they knew they were going to use a part from it someday, but never did. And so now we put it all here, so whenever we're working on a project, we need something and not quite sure what, you can go up there and usually you can find something you need. Other than that, that's basically the tour. That's our space in a nutshell. Although we're currently looking for a bigger space because we've got about 28 members now, and there's just not enough room. I mean, you can see how cramped it is even with this many people in here.
How long have you guys been around?
Let's see, a little over a year. Well, we've had the space for about a year and a half, but our grand opening was about a little over a year ago, 14, 15 months ago. So in that time, I mean, we've grown pretty good, so we're just looking for a bigger space.
Yeah, what were some of the challenges in just opening this space?
The first challenge, it's a chicken and egg problem with maker spaces, right? You need a space to bring people, but you need money to get a space, and you need people to have money. So it's this big circle. So what we did was we got about 5 people who could each afford about $100 a month, and we said, okay, we can all afford $100 a month for 6 months. Well, guaranteed. Let's just get a place with a 6-month lease that costs $500 a month. That's what this space is. And for the first,
I was about to say, wow, come to Oregon.
Yeah.
This is $600 a month.
Yeah, it's a little less than 500 plus utilities, and it's about 1,000 square feet. So at first there was plenty of room for our 5 of us. So we got our 6-month lease, and as soon as we got the space, I think our membership doubled because I met one guy who knew 5 guys. And once they could come and see that there was something here, they all brought in all these tools, and it was like, okay, now we've got tools, double the members, and then it was like every month we gained 1 or 2 members until we hit about 15, and then it kind of leveled out for about half a year over the summertime. We get a lull in the summer, because in Eugene, rains a lot in the winter, so when the summer comes, everyone's gone. So kind of had a lull, and then just this winter, we doubled again. We're almost at 30. And we're finally breaking even, so now we don't have to pay any extra on top of our membership dues anymore.
So once you have people and tools and a space and then money, what do you need? What's next?
People, tools, space, and then you
More
make
space.
stuff. Yeah, more space.
More
Right.
space.
Yeah, that's a hard thing because we have this thing where, you know, our dues here are $25 a month, which are pretty low for hackerspace terms. The problem is once you get enough money to pay for the space, you now have too many people for that space, and now we have to get a bigger space and go back, or
So-
we're not enough. Yeah, back into debt.
I had this problem in SimCity, and then they kept on saying we want a stadium, and so I built them a stadium, and I went bankrupt because it cost too much to run the stadium.
Yeah, it's the same problem, I guess.
Moral of the story: don't build them a stadium.
Right. Yeah, that I would say that's the hardest thing when you're starting. What we did, the very first thing we did was we formed a nonprofit, got a bank account, and that way we could accept donations and things and put it in a
Oh, man,
company
what,
account.
What was that process like? I mean, because you formed the 501c3 before you had members and a space.
So there was maybe like 2 or 3 of us that got together, and we did filing your articles of incorporation. Actually, filing with the state is actually pretty easy, and I think it was like $50 or $100 a year to do that. The hard part was writing the bylaws, which I would say Cliff probably did most of the work on that. We took another group's bylaws as a template, and then heavily modified them, and we met every week or every other week just to kind of go over, what do we think about this one? What do we think about this one? Because we wanted to make sure that when the group started, we had a good rule set to work from. We knew how things should be run, at least from the organizational standpoint. So we got all those together before. That took probably 5 to 6 months really to get through all that. But if you weren't as paranoid, you know, you could really put together some basic bylaws or borrow someone else's and get going like that.
I mean, it sounds like you did it the open source way, and you just forked some.
Yeah, well, yeah, I would say that we did. We totally did. So we got the organization filed with the state, and then we finished the bylaws, and then we got the group. We got those 5 guys together to look for a space, and that took about 4 or 5 months over the summer for us to actually find a space we could afford that was big enough.
So what's the average day at the Makerspace like?
The average, well, I'd consider our average day to be, we have open hack nights on Tuesdays and Fridays where we're open to the public. And those are our most busiest sort of regular nights. And so the 3D printer's pretty popular. So usually there's somebody printing and someone else who wants to print and can't because it's already in use. You'll generally somewhat often find someone on the oscilloscope. A lot of people just come in and they're just hanging out talking about what they want to do or what they're doing at home even. And then it's I don't know. Other than that, there's not a lot that's always the same. I mean, it depends on who's working on what.
Was there anything that you weren't expecting that happened that that kind of surprised you after creating it, and then all of a sudden these people that show up, and who are these people? And suddenly you have a space, and people are here hacking away at stuff.
I was honestly just surprised at how quickly it did grow, and I guess I should say I'm surprised that there are these really bumps of growth. I sort of expect it to be more linear, where you get a member or two every month, but it was really like there was this bump when we first got the space, and then we kind of lulled. There was another small bump, and then it was like a lull, and then just this winter it was like just doubled. And I kind of suspect once we find a bigger space, move all our tools there, we get more stuff in, it's gonna probably explode again. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for. At this point.
Maybe it's like the goldfish tank theory.
Cool. I don't know. I'm not
The
familiar.
bigger the goldfish tank, the bigger the goldfish.
Oh. Yeah, I'm hoping that's what'll happen anyway, because we're gonna need more members to support a bigger space. So.
So man, thank you for giving me a little tour.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Where can people find out about the space?
www.eugenemakerspace.com. That's our main website. So just head there, check it out. We've got a wiki, we've got mailing lists, and then the main site. We're on Facebook. So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Check it out.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So we're here in an industrial side of Portland, where we're going to check out Brain Silo. It's kind of a difficult place to find if you've never been before, but I was told just find the alleyway with motorcycles and just be up here on the left. How long have you been at the space?
Maybe like 4 or 5 months now. I originally found it by complete happenstance. I had never found this place except that I started getting into 3D printing. And I went through this service called Shapeways, where you send them your models, they print it, send it back. And they were having a World Meetup Day, and apparently the person that was hosting Portland's did it here in the Brain Silo. And so I showed up to that and was, in that whole meetup thing. And then I realized, I was like, wait, this is a place. This is somewhere I can keep going, and I've been coming here ever since. It's amazing. I walked in here and I was like, oh my god, there's a 3D printer. That's the first thing I saw, and then I realized, holy cow, this is really cool. And there's all the hardware I could ever want here for anything.
What have you been working on?
Mostly I'm 3D printing stuff, but whenever I need to work on anything else, I've rebuilt 2 or 3 computers out of just random here, and because you can see we have much hardware.
It's a pretty cool space. So, how did this space come about?
Temple, I think you might have to answer that question.
Yeah.
So I've only been here since about December or so. Our fearless leader is away on work. He works in DC, and he does important stuff for network security. So a lot of Brain Silo's intentions were to be focused around network security, but we have all these great tools, so why not, mess around. When I came here, we had 3 or 4 people that were meeting constantly every week on Thursdays. Since then, I should say, we have 4 nights a week that we come, we hang out. We do 3D modeling on Tuesdays. We do open house on Thursdays, and then we go and attack the city with throwies on Fridays.
Attack the city with throwies?
Yeah.
Can you show me some of your throwies?
Oh, dude. Well, the throwies, the cool thing is, we could just kind of put them in the plastic and all that jazz. But here, I got a kit.
So you've got like the
over here.
magnetic ones?
Oh, yeah, dude. I've got so much neodymium.
Oh, there we go.
Throwies in action, all stuck up there. Yeah. So this is my my light up box. It gets a lot of people's attention because they're like, Tron, oh my god! And then I got a bunch of neodymium that I got off of eBay. This came straight from China, so if you've ever been there, if you haven't, I don't know, but I got their magnets. I got a bunch of jazz in here. I have like a to-go kit, so I can just throw it in the pocket, hit the max, and hand these out to screaming children to make their parents love them more. Shrink tubing is what I use to bind them all together. So when you buy in bulk, you can get the batteries 1,000 for $98 from some distributor in Florida off of eBay. And I mean, 1,000 batteries, $100. That's like a whole year of fun. It's a lot of fun, a lot. So each throwy compiles of about 4 cents worth of materials. It's like throwing a nickel at somebody every time. So if you have a nickel to spare, to light up somebody's day, it's pretty awesome.
Can you show me what it takes to light up somebody's day? Can we build one?
Yeah. I like making these flashy ones, and I like putting resistors on there just to make them more complicated. Resistors totally not needed. Take the long pin. That's the positive. Wrap this around here with nimble fingers if you don't have them.
So what are you wrapping around? Are you wrapping a
1K resistor or something?
resistor? Okay.
Yeah. So you got a product, pretty simple, and then these batteries. This time they came pre-packaged. I hate packaging. I emailed the guy and I said no packaging next time. Just give me those stupid white sheets. But basically, you got a throwy. These throwies are about 0.45 cents a piece, so you about 2 for a penny. When you buy them about 200 at a time, I can get it cheaper if I bought more, but I was just experimenting. These, I'm sure you can't see it, but if you can, there's a tiny little chip in there that flashes an RGB. So there's no like Arduino necessary, and these are annoying because you throw these up on a 2-story window ledge, it's going to take a week at least before some maintenance dudes goes up there and pulls them down. So if you're trying to just mess with people, that's fun. Or if you give them to children, just tell them not to eat them, because magnets are bad for you. Apparently if you eat 2 of them and have them stuck in your intestines, they'll kill you. So don't do that. Also, you'll have to get your stomach pumped from the batteries, so don't eat batteries. But these are the things that people have told me why I'm such a horrible person for buying 1,000 throwies and distributing them to people. They say, you're going to kill some child and you're going to feel bad for it. But you know what? There's my policies.
So what are you putting on it now?
This is shrink tubing. Typically you would apply heat to this, but I don't recommend that because you're going to mess with the battery, you're going to mess with the magnet, you're going to mess with the LED.
So you just slid a magnet in between. You created like a little sandwich, right?
Yeah, a little sandwich with 2032 CMOS battery, one very cheap LED from China, one very cheap free. In fact, they send these for free when you buy LEDs, and then the shrink tubing. Believe it or not, the expensive part of this product is the magnet and the shrink tubing. Those are the expensive parts. But
so not the LED.
Not the LED.
Not the LED battery that does all the cool linking.
That's the cheapest, probably the cheapest part. Well, other than the resistor. The resistor's unnecessary. I'm just trying to get rid of them.
Okay, so how do you do the throwy aspect of it? Where'd that go? I didn't even see it.
It's on the ground.
Oh.
Like we figured, just gives me more space for detail. That doesn't even have a lot of detail.
So we actually do this parkour status. Since I went cheap on the magnets, I'll go up in very tall places and stick them places. So if you can bounce up a wall and put it somewhere sophisticated, you're gonna get a lot of attention. Not very sophisticated. We only print one color at a time. If I got some white out though, I could probably make it look pretty cool.
Is that ABS?
PLA.
PLA?
Yeah. Corn. Yeah, it's corn.
We've got ABS, but I like the PLA more. Prints nicer.
So what is this?
This is the largest print we've ever made out of our MakerBot. So it's 3D printed out of this machine we have over here.
And is it like somebody's face or what?
No, this is like a low polygon 3D model that we got off of Thingiverse, which is a collection of models that people have made to work with the MakerBots, and just hit a button and printed it out.
So if you like put it on, you'd be like one of those polygon men from the Nintendo 64 days.
Yep, we've gotten that one quite a bit. We've also gotten what's his name? Max Headroom. Max Headroom is a big reference.
Got it.
But yeah, and this originally started out as this.
It doesn't, but at least I got it in focus.
Oh, silly focus.
That's funny.
Computer vision recognizing faces.
Yeah, this is just like one of the incredible amount of things we've printed out of this printer. Like Temple Dick printed this one, which is Master Chief.
Nice.
And that one took some work. Like, he was talking about how he had to clean it out and sand it and stuff.
You've seen you've seen the
yeah.
printers.
I mean, I on the way here stopped outside of Sacramento and saw the PrinterBot guys.
Oh, no
So,
kidding.
Yeah.
That must have been fun.
Yeah, it was really cool. I got to tour their factory and then ended up getting one. So, yeah, can't wait to put it to work. So, what do you have it over here printing?
Right now, where's the ball at? Right now, we're printing. When I first started printing here, we started making housings for LEDs and stuff. And so.
Housings for LEDs?
Yeah, this is where we're at now. So in the bottom, there's this slot for an LED battery, or a watch battery. And then there's an LED in there that's clasping the battery around it. And this is actually an idea we got off of Thingiverse. But then, so we take this globe, and I go into my modeling program, and I, what's the word I want? Whatever. Modeled the name of our hackerspace into it, the Brain Silo. And they're pretty sturdy too. You can throw these things around and they will stay fully together. I mean, unless, just being it at the wall, it might explode. Yeah.
We try.
This is exciting because it's like we've been printing a lot of little stuff. Then we printed that mask, which is huge, and realized that the bigger we go, the nicer it looks. It's a little bit more time consuming, but it's pretty cool.
It's up on Meetup, meetup.com, and they come in and use our space like collaboratively. All their member people like come in and use our space, and they're members too, so everything works out.
What's a member?
A DIY bio, like do-it-yourself bioengineering and stuff. For instance, this is probably the best example of what they do. This is microbial fuel cells. These are buckets of dirt that generate electricity in small amounts. They're charting it on this computer right here, and it's actually logging the data and throwing it up on Twitter every so often. I think it's every hour. I was under the understanding at one time that they had it at like every 5 minutes, and it was ridiculous. But like every hour or so, it'll ping Twitter and say, this is how much output your bio batteries are producing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you say these are just buckets of dirt that are creating electricity?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder how many buckets of dirt it would take to carry around to charge my phone.
That would take a lot of buckets of dirt, but I mean, everybody's going like all solar and everything. There's a lot of power alternatives. I mean, bioengineering is pretty fun stuff. There's a lot of information right up here about how this stuff works. We've never really used any of this stuff. DIY Bios mainly do this, and then they're only here every Sunday or so. And they only come in like once or twice a month. We came to the realization the other day that we only use the weekdays and we never use Saturday or Sunday, and we're only here between like 7 and 2 a.m. It's like, so that's a lot of hours for a hack space not to be used, and we have so much more potential. Like, I think that printer and our CNC mill and our soldering machine and especially our jukebox should be able to use.
Just getting some beer.
It's no surprise that budding entrepreneurs and innovators are turning to .NET to realize their solutions online. .NET is one of the original top-level domains. It's got such great recognition. It's been around since 1985, and you can enable the power of .NET with your great idea as well. Whether you're registering a new domain and say the .com you once already taken, a .NET is a great alternative. Or if you already have a .com, a .NET is a great companion. We just did that with Hack Across America, and I did it personally with Darren Kitchen. And you can get your own .NET, the same place where Shannon and I shop, because we love domain.com. Not just because they've been supporting Hack5 for years, but because they're really easy to use. They don't try to upsell you with stuff you don't need. It's a really quick and painless process. You can find a .NET there for as low as $8.99 a month, and get this, the guys over at Domain.com, they're huge fans of us and you guys, so they want to hook you up with 15% off your next purchase. All you have to do is use the coupon code HAK5 at Domain.com's checkout. That's 15% off and great savings, so use coupon code HAK5. When you think domain names, think Domain.com.
It's time for trivia. Now, last week's question was, what man-in-the-middle attack exploits address resolution protocol? And the answer was ARP spoof, or ARP cache poisoning. This week's question is, where does the term ARF gotcha come from? You can answer that over at hack5.org/trivia for your chance to win some awesome Hack5 goodies.